Well, hello. I always want to say good morning, but it may not be morning when you're watching this. And what's morning to you may not be morning to me. I don't know. So, this is chapter 12. Chapter 12 is all about financing things and installment plans, which some of you may be familiar with. So, here's just some interesting things that people finance. For millennials, one of the most common things that they finance is travel. Some strange things people are financing these days: bed sheets, blenders. And what it means to finance, it means you can't afford it with cash or with the money that you have. So basically, you pay for it using credit. And you maybe pay for it over time. Okay, so an installment loan is just a loan that's repaid in regular payments. So maybe every month you pay a certain amount back. Some common things bought on an installment boats, cars, furniture, because these are expensive items. So a lot of times you'll see companies have installment plans. So they're like, hey, instead of paying for it all now, you can pay this much a month. That would be an installment plan. Okay, when you buy on an installment plan, you're borrowing money and paying it back in partial payments. Sometimes you have to make a down payment or part of the purchase price. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have to sign a contract. There are two types of installment plans. We're only going to focus on one of them. That's closed-end credit. So it's a type of installment loan in which the amount borrowed and the interest is repaid in a specific number of equal payments. So every payment is the same. So think about your, if you have a car loan, you pay the same amount each month unless you want to pay more. Okay. What a down payment is, that's a partial payment. So it's usually what you pay up front. Maybe you can pay $100 up front or $1,000, whatever you put down. That's your down payment. It's commonly used in a house. The amount financed, so that's the cash price minus the down payment. So the amount financed, this is going to be important for later, but what it really is it's what you can't afford to pay, so it's what you need to take out the loan for. So if you put a down payment, you don't have to finance the down payment because you paid that already. So it's the rest. It's everything else you still owe. So it's what you're taking out a loan for. Installment payment is how much you pay each month or each interval. The installment price, so that's the total price you end up paying when all is said and done. It includes all your payments, all your charges, which is basically interest, and then your down payment. So it costs to finance things because they're doing you a service to allow you to not have to pay it right now. So they're going to charge you extra each month. So the installment price is going to typically be more than the original price of the item. So maybe the boat is a few $1,000s, and you end up paying an extra $1,000 because you chose not to pay it all at once. So the installment price includes all of that. So it's when it's all said and done, it's your final amount that you paid. So we find that by taking all of your installment payments, so adding them all together. So if maybe you had 12 payments at $20 each, you do 12 times 20, and then add how much you paid originally. So this is how much you've paid overall. Okay, so for example, the new iPhone, this is from 2017, but Keandre decides to buy the new iPhone online using an installment loan. So I actually found this on their website. Is it worth it? So if you pay the cash price of an iPhone XR 64 gigabyte, it is $749.99. So if they were to tell you this phone costs $750, most of you aren't going to go ahead and just pay the $750. Instead, you'll take out a loan, basically is what you're doing, and you pay monthly payments. So let's say Keandre puts $20 as a down payment, because that's all he can afford right now. And then this is actually from their website. You can pay $31.24 per month for 24 months. So I want to know what the installment price is. So I want to know what the overall price is when all is said and done. That's what that's asking for. So if I'm paying $31.24 for 24 months, that means I'm going to take $31.24 and multiply it by 24. So let me do that in my calculator. And that gives us $749.76. But then he also paid the down payment of $20. So the installment price is all of your installment payments plus the down payment. So if I add 20 to that, I end up paying $769.76. So it's not as bad as I would have thought, but you end up paying about $20 extra just to finance it. Okay, so I thought this was really funny. This was on Sears' website, which I know Sears a lot of them are closing, but they're kind of known for their installment plans. So this said, own a $500 item for as little as $525. So wait, it's worth $500, but I can own it for $525? Wow, what a deal. So that's because if you finance it, you're going to end up paying more money. So I just thought that was kind of funny. And it all depends on the type of plan you take out. So if you pay it back in 30 days, it only costs you $525. If you take out a 60-day loan, that's going to cost you $40 more than what it's worth. If you take out a 90-day plan, it's going to cost you $50 more. So it costs to finance things. Okay, sometimes you may know the installment price and the down payment, and you need to find the amount of the monthly payment. So they might tell you how much you're going to end up paying overall, and you want to know, okay, how much are my payments going to be? So this is good to figure out if you maybe want to know what your car payments are going to be each month or something along those lines. So you'll take the installment price, so that's the overall price when all is said and done, and you're actually going to subtract the down payment because you don't have to finance the down payment. So you can take that out of the price because you're not going to have to pay that back. And then you just divide it by the number of months you're going to be making these payments. So let's say David decides to change up his vehicle. So he gets a vehicle with a pool table on the back. Isn't that awesome? The installment price of the pool table was $1,220 for a 12-month loan. Okay, so at the end of 12 months, that's how much he's paid overall. If a $320 down payment was made, find the installment payment. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is subtract the $320 because I don't need to pay that back. I can remove that from the price. So that's what this formula is saying. Subtract the down payment. And then whatever I'm left with, I'm going to divide that into equal payments every month for 12 months. So I'm going to divide it by the number of months, which is 12. So essentially I have 900 divided by 12. And if you take out your handy dandy calculator, or maybe you can do this in your head, super impressive, you get 75. So that means every month he's going to have to pay $75. So this is good to know how to do if you want to calculate your own car payment and see what it would be before you buy it. Okay, we're not going to do that. Find the APR. So the APR is the annual percentage rate. We briefly touched on that in the compound interest chapter. So it's the true rate of an installment loan that is equivalent to an annual simple interest rate. The APR can be determined using this table. In your book, it's on page 440 and 441. So here's an example of what it looks like. So notice you have the number of monthly payments here, and then you have the APR. And so here's 10.75% to 15%. And there's another part of your table that has other percentages as well. But I want you to notice that this is the interest per $100 of the amount financed. So for every $100 you finance, this is the amount of interest you're going to pay for this APR and this monthly payment. So, first thing you're going to do is find the interest for every $100 financed. So the way to do that is to divide the finance charges, including all the interest and everything, by the amount financed, and then multiply by 100, because it's for every $100. Then you're going to find the row corresponding to the number of monthly payments. So that's this row right here. We'll look for which number of monthly payments. You move across the row to find the number closest to the value from step 1. So that number may not be on there, but you're going to look in this sea of numbers, so somewhere in here, for the closest number, and then you can follow it up to the appropriate APR. So this is finding the APR given the number of monthly payments. Okay, so for example, David Harleyson, see what I did there? Harley Davidson, David Harleyson. Anyway, bought a motorcycle for $3,000, which he financed at $142 per month for 24 months. There was no down payment. Find the APR. Okay, so I need to figure out the number of monthly payments. Well, it says 24 months. So I know I'm going to use this row right here. And then I need the interest per $100 of amount financed. So I'm going to need to take the amount that I financed. So it's $142 times 24 months. So 142 times 24 is $3,408. Okay, so that's how much it ended up costing me overall, right? Well, if you notice, the chart says the interest for every $100. Well, $3,408 is not the interest. The amount of interest I paid is the amount of extra money that I paid. So it was supposed to only cost me $3,000. So I need to subtract the $3,000 to see how much extra I paid. If I subtract that, I get $408 extra that was paid. So that's my interest. Okay, so you're going to take the finance charges. Oops. Oh, I have it right down here. And you're going to, if you notice, the formula says to divide the finance charges. So if you want a formula version of this, divide it by the amount financed, and then multiply by $100. Okay, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to divide it by the amount financed, which was the $3,408, and then multiply by 100. So for if you want a formula for the finance charge, you just take the installment price. So we found that by taking the amount he financed every month times the number of months. And then we took that amount and we subtracted the original price. So that was what we did here to get the finance charge. And then we're going to take, so that's the finance charge, and then I'm going to divide that by the amount financed and multiply that by 100. Okay, so when I do that, I get $11.97. So going back to the chart, I know it's 24 months, and I look for 11.97 on here. Well, 11.97 is not on here directly, but it is somewhere between these two numbers. So you look at which one it's closest to. This one, it's about 0.11 away, and this one is like 0.17 away. So it's closer to this number. So you follow it up, and the closest APR is 11%. So your APR is 11%. Find the APR for Christian's new laptop, which cost $1,800 and was financed for 12 months. There was no down payment. The monthly payments were $168. Okay, so first I need to figure out the finance charge. So to do that, I'm going to figure out the installment price, which is $168 was paid for 12 months. So if I multiply those together, I get 168 times 12. Let's see if I have this on here. Yay! So that's 2016. Okay, then I'm going to subtract the amount that it was supposed to cost, which was the $1,800, just to see how much interest I paid. So the amount of interest is the same thing as the finance charge, basically. That's how much interest I paid. But on the chart, I need the interest per every $100 financed. So I need to take that amount and divide it by the amount financed. So the amount financed was this amount right here. So I'm doing 216 divided by 2016, right? And then that's going to get multiplied by 100. And that gives me $10.71. So on my chart, I'm going to be looking for 1071 for 12 months. So if you go back to your chart, so 12 months would be right here, and you're going to follow it along to 1071. Okay, so that's not on this chart, it's on the other chart, which I don't have on here, but if you follow it up and if you look at it, it's 19.5%. All right. So what happens if you pay something off early? Do you get any money back? Do you have to pay all the interest that you were originally supposed to pay? So Shepard, one of the students that was in our class, won the lottery and paid off his boat early. Isn't that an awesome boat? So the original monthly price included interest over the full 12 months. So when they give you your price, they say, okay, this is what you're going to pay every month for 12 months. So does he have to pay all that interest if he pays it off early? Well, it depends on who you're borrowing the money from and what your contract states, but he may be entitled to a refund. And the refund is called the Rule of 78. This is from section 12.2. The Rule of 78, it's if a loan is paid before it is due, some of the interest may be refunded, but it's probably not as much as you expect. Never is when you're getting money back, right? So the Rule of 78 is a method for determining the amount of refund of finance charge for an installment loan that is paid before it's due. And it's not always using the number 78, but that's the number that's used for the most common breakdown of months, which would be 12 months. So I'll show you a 12-month loan, and then I'll show you why it may not always be the number 78. But, okay, so in month 1, you're basically paying interest every month for 12 months. So your interest is going to be accruing on all 12 parts of your principal. Month 2, you've paid off 1 month, so now you have interest accruing on 11 parts of the principal. Month 3, you've paid off 2 months, so now you only have 10 parts of the principal left, etc., etc. So the reason it's called the Rule of 78 is, so this is month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, 5, 6, all the way down to month 12. So if you add all the parts of the principal that you're getting charged interest on, there are 78 parts there. So let's say the loan is paid off at the end of month 9. So you paid for 9 months, you still have month 10, 11, and 12 that you're not going to have to pay on. So you may get some interest back for those 3 months. Well, month 10, you still have 3 more months, so you're still paying interest on 3 parts. Month 11, you're paying on 2 parts, and month 12, you're paying on 1 part. So if you add those numbers together, 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. So there are 6 parts that you don't have to pay interest on. So remember, there were originally 78 parts total if you went from month 1 to month 12. So you're only paying, so can get back 6 out of the 78 parts. So basically, 6/78 of the price will be refunded to you. So, a loan for 12 months with interest of $468.85 is paid in full with 5 payments remaining. What is the refund fraction for the interest refund? Okay, so they didn't ask for the refund, they asked for the refund fraction, which is basically this type of thing. So since it's a 12-month loan, it's going to be out of 78. And if you have 5 payments remaining, that means you have 5 months remaining, right? So that would be month 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Yeah. So you have 1 part here, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts, 5 parts. So if you add all those together to see how many parts you have remaining, that's 9, 12, 14, 15. So there are 15 parts out of the 78 that you don't have to pay back. That is your refund fraction. And then if you want to calculate the interest refund, that's another process. It's using that fraction. But if they just ask for the refund fraction, that's all they want. 15 over 78. Okay. A loan of 12 months with interest of $224 is paid in full with 4 payments remaining. Find the refund fraction for the interest refund, then find the interest refund. So we're going to do 2 things here. Okay, so we've got 4 payments remaining. So we've got 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts left. So if I add all those together, 7, 9, 10 parts remaining. So my refund fraction is 10 out of 78. So that's the answer to the refund fraction. Now to find the interest refund, all you have to do is take this fraction of the amount you were supposed to pay, of the amount of interest you were supposed to pay. So I was supposed to pay $224 in interest. I'm going to take 10/78 of $224, which basically means to multiply these. If you multiply those together, you get $28.72. So instead of paying $224, you're going to pay $28.72 less than that. So that's how much you get refunded. So it's always a good idea to pay off things early if you can. I have a friend who paid off her home early. She had taken out a 30-year mortgage and ended up paying it off in 15 years. She saved hundreds of thousands of dollars just in doing that. All right. Okay, so to find any refund fraction, so we just did it for 12-month loans, but you can do this for 24-month loan, 36-month loans, any type of loan really. So if you think about the refund fraction, you have a numerator and a denominator. The numerator is the sum of the digits from 1 through the number of months remaining. So notice when we had 4 months remaining, it was 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. When you have 5 months remaining, it was 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So that's what goes in the numerator. So you basically take how many months remaining and you add a digit lower, you keep going down by 1 integer until you get to 1 and add all those together. The denominator is the sum of the digits from 1 through the original number of months of the loan. So it won't, this is why I said it won't always be 78. For 12, it was 12 plus 11 all the way down to 1, which is 78. But for 15 months, you'd start with 15 and go down from there. So that's going to be higher than 78. So there is actually a table to help you with this. I mean, you can do it by hand, but the table makes it really nice. So let me see if I have this table in here. Let me actually pull this up for you. Tables from chapter 12, convenient. Okay. So, oh, here's what I was talking about before. There's the other half of the table. Picks up where you left off at 15% and then moves on to 15.5% up to 21.5%. Okay, so here's another table, 12.2, and look, it has a number of months and the sum of the digits, and then it just keeps going. So 1 to 20, 21 to 40, 41 to 60. So if you have a 5-year loan, well, 5 years, 12 months a year is 60 months. So a 60-month loan, the denominator would be 1,830. So for a 2-year loan, that'd be 24 months. The denominator would be 300. So basically what this number is saying is if I were to add 24 all the way down to 1, subtracting a digit each time, I would get 300. So this is the number that goes in your denominator. You can also use this to find what number goes in your numerator. Remember when we had 5 payments remaining? It was 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Well, that gave us 15. Right? When we had 4 payments remaining, that was 10. So you can use this to help you create the fraction. Okay. So, and then the refund fraction is just the sum of the digits for the number of payments remaining over the sum of the digits for the total number of payments, which we just discussed. So, for example, a loan for 36 months that was paid in full with 15 payments remaining. Okay, well, if you pull up your little table here, so the denominator is going to be, oh, it won't let me do that, the sum of the digits for 36 months. And then I have 15 payments remaining, so that's 15 months of payments. So I'm going to find the sum of the digits for 15, and that's going to go in the numerator. So it's not 15 over 36. It's 15 plus 14 plus 13, whatever that is, over 36 plus 35 plus 34 all the way down to 1. So whatever that is. So you can actually add that yourself or just look on here. 15 payments remaining is going to be 120 payments, so 120 parts left, over the 36 months, which is 666. So that's my refund fraction. So sum of the digits from 1 to 15 over the sum of the digits from 1 to 36. Which you can add yourself or look on the table. Got some fancy animation going on here. And then just reduce it. So 20 over 111 would be the refund fraction. Okay. Okay, and then if you want to know the refund amount, then you'll just take this and you'll multiply it by how much it was supposed to cost you. So find the refund amount on total finance charge of $1,276.50. So finance charge, that's the same as interest, right? So you want to figure out what percentage or what portion of the interest do you get back. So you take the amount of interest or the amount of your finance charge and multiply it by 20 over 111, and you get $230. So you get $230 back, which is significant. Okay, use the rule of 78 to find the finance charge, which is basically the interest. So think of those words being interchangeable, finance charge and interest, because finance charge is what you're being charged to finance something. So it's the cost, the extra cost in order to pay it off over months versus paying it all at once. So it really is the amount of interest you pay. So let's say the finance charge is $476. I'm going to change this up. Let's say the number of monthly payments is 36. And let's say you have 5 remaining payments. Okay, so we're trying to find the refund. Well, it didn't say to find the refund fraction, but you have to find the refund fraction to find the refund. So the refund fraction, if I have 5 remaining payments, that's going to be the sum of the digits from 1 to 5. So basically 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 over the total number of monthly payments. So that's going to be the sum of the digits from 1 to 36. So that's 36 plus 35 plus 34 all the way down to 1. So you can add those together, or you can just look on your chart. I am just going to look on my chart. And so for 1 to 5, that's going to be 15. For 1 to 36, that's going to be 666. So it's going to be 15 over 666. Those can both be divided by 3 to simplify this. So that's 5 over 222. So that's the refund fraction. And then to find the interest refund, I'm going to take this amount and multiply it by my finance charge or my interest that I was supposed to pay, which is this. And if I do that, I get 5 divided by 222, so that's what you can do here. And then that gets multiplied by 476, which is 10, and we always round to 2 digits when we're talking about money because dollars and cents, 10.72. So I'm going to get $10.72 back. So there's $10.72 I don't have to pay on the $476. Okay, and that is it for chapter 12 that we're going to cover at least. All right, have a great day.